When we perceive conflict, it's natural to be apprehensive about what's going to happen. And it's oftentimes that fear of what could happen, the unknown, about dealing with difficult conversations that makes us want to shy away from them. We simply don't know really what to do, nor what can we expect from the other person. So here's a tip on how to structure a potentially difficult conversation. And so it's what I call F.I.I.F, facts, impact, importance, and future forward. Well, what does that mean? Well, when our brains are excited, triggered through some kind of emotional encounter, we don't tend to think very well. And so what helps our brain then focus is to provide some structure for how we engage with another person. Now, this isn't complicated, believe me, but if we can keep in mind these four key features: facts, impact, importance, and future forward, it gives us a way to manage the situation, manage ourselves, and therefore influence how the other person manages themselves. And so, starting with the facts, what happened? And this is where you might begin by starting with these are the facts of the situation as I know it, as I understand it. And then asking the other person, what is your perception of the facts of what happened? How did you see that going down? Now we've got a conversation going, and you're asking for input. You're inviting them to share how they see things, because it's all about perspective taking. And if you haven't already checked it out, check out my tips and techniques on the 360-degree perspective taking. So once you have this exchange, here's how I see it, here's how you see it. Now, how have we been impacted? What's the impact been on you? What's the impact been on me? And I like the word impact because it steers away from feelings or thoughts. I don't know if you know this, but in the world of our population, there are about 50% of us who are more feelers and operate and talk in emotions, and the other 50% are more thinkers dealing with the facts. And so this approach actually provides an opportunity to embrace both. If we talk about impact, that covers both thoughts and feelings, because people may react just to the use of the word feelings, for example. And so impact encompasses it all. What's the impact on you? Here's the impact on me based on the facts of just what happened. And then we can shift to what's important to you? What do you need? What's your underlying interest here? And this is really the core then of where we can get to an effective place in conflict resolution or having that difficult conversation. What's important to you? What do you want to see happen? How would you like to see this unfold? Where next do you see us going? And what's the value? What's the importance to you? I want to preserve our relationship. I want to have all the stress and tension behind us. I don't want to keep living my life like this. That's what's important to me. And so these are where we can begin, asking appropriate open-ended questions and stating comments of clarity. Then, once each of you have a chance to engage and exchange information, this is where we can say, okay, this is what's happened, the facts. Here's how we're impacted in the present. And here are ideas about what's important for how we move forward. So, next step, developing a future forward plan of action that involves both of you exchanging, engaging, sharing ideas. Here's some thoughts I have, and based on what you've told me, here are some suggestions I have for you. What proposals do you have for how we might resolve this? Here's my proposal for how we might solve this. And so again, it's about shifting some of our language, staying in focus on future focus, and also being mindful of not asserting opinions, but instead sharing perspectives. All key terms, small in nature, but big on impact. And then that's where you can words together in agreement about how you are going to move together differently. And quite honestly, this kind of conversation is hugely empowering. Why? Because it shows that you can actually have that difficult conversation. It shows that you can move beyond the reaction, the retorts, the blame and shame game. Because you're structuring it in a way that's, no, let's keep focused on what are the facts. How have you been impacted? That's important to know. Now, what's important to each of us for how we move forward? It truly represents a collaboration, a partnership that is so strengthening. I'll say it again, empowering for how we move forward, that it definitely will shift the dynamics and allow you to not stay stuck in the past. Too often we carry our baggage with us forward. What does that do for us? Very little. And so this is a way of shedding the baggage and instead say, okay, yes, actually this happened. Here's the impact. Can't change what happened. So let's move beyond that and say, what's the impact now? What's the reality of what we're dealing with because of what happened? And then what's important for how we move forward? And this is where we can use those expressions of preserving the relationship, wherever it might be, in the workplace, at home, etc. Again, the whole importance of dispute resolution is really about how do we preserve and repair relationships that have been damaged by the facts of the past. I'm Dr. Deborah Dupree. So remember, facts, impact, importance, and future forward. Believe me, it is a real game changer. Now, does it come easy first time? No, this is where practice comes into play. So if you want more guidance, want some assistance, don't hesitate to reach out to me and schedule a 15-minute consultation so that we can talk about your challenging or difficult situation and how to apply this more effectively. I look forward to hearing from you.